1.
The clerk will open the court.
Oyez, oyez, oyez. The Honorable Court of Criminal Appeals is now in session.
We're ready to hear argument in cause number PD-0545-20, Kevin Ratliff versus the state of Texas. You may
Good
proceed.
morning. May it please the court, counsel. My name is David Schulman. I represent Kevin Ratliff along with John Jasuda and Rob Daniel, who are with me at virtual counsel table. The case before you involves a number of items, a number of issues related to the sufficiency of the evidence. Let me start by addressing the knowledge issue. I would suggest to the court that official oppression is not so much about what you did as what you know. In this case, it is clear that the state's allegation that Chief Ratliff did not include facts of the arrest in the offense report is true. They're not there. It's also true that he went into Mr. Nutt's trailer without permission. That's true. What the state did not prove is that Chief Ratliff knew that either of these acts was illegal or in any way improper. Speaking first about the entry into the trailer, I would point out to you that in January of 2018, before the indictments, Chief Ratliff was interviewed by DA investigator Jack Schumacher and Texas Ranger Marcus Cantu. And during that interview, and this would be in the State's Exhibit 2, I believe it is, but it's page 6 of the interview, which is in the clerk's record. There's a question which I presume at this point was asked by Mr. Schumacher, doesn't matter. One of the officers asked Chief Ratliff what he would say was his basis for entering Nutt's RV. And he said, "I didn't want to see a 300-something pound guy get tased standing in the doorway and falling face first." Now, the video created by Officer Amy Shannon from her body camera is part of the record. And as you watch it, what you'll see is that the chief is nowhere to be seen or heard throughout almost the entire video. However, near the end of the video, within the last 2 minutes, you can see him come into the screen. I believe it's Officer Shannon says, "Hey, Chief." Chief Ratliff walks in, climbs up into the trailer. There are some words between Mr. Nutt and the chief, and he takes him outside. Chief takes Mr. Nutt outside the trailer and turns him over to other officers.
Counsel, weren't there a couple of witnesses who said that they saw the chief there for several minutes before he walked up to the trailer?
One of the witnesses said that he arrived about the same, he arrived shortly after, I don't have the exact words in my head, but that he arrived on the scene shortly after Amy Shannon. Another witness said that he wasn't there at the beginning, but when he showed up, he stood in the back kind of watching. I would say that the court can rely on those statements as having occurred, although arrived right after her is saying it's down the road a piece. We have no equation as to time other than when Chief Ratliff walks on screen. But yes,
I think you're frozen, counsel.
Should we stop the clock for a minute?
Kelly?